There was a kind of movie house your father never admitted he walked into. The kind of place where the floor, it stuck to your shoes and nobody made eye contact in the lobby. They called the men who went there the raincoat crowd. And the pictures they came to see, they have a name too. They were called Roughies, not the giggly, nudie pictures that came before them. This was something meaner. They were black and white, shot in a week for the price of a used car, and built on one idea: that you could show an audience things the censors would never allow as long as you punished everyone on screen for it. So today, we've got 8 of them: the filthiest, the cheapest, and the ones that only ever played in the dark. All right, let's check them out.
I started with Dolly. She was a real hot number. A pushover.
So let's talk about what a roughie is, because people, they tend to get this wrong. A roughie, it isn't a horror movie, and it isn't a nudie cutie. It's the nasty middle child of the early 60s. Sexploitation crossed with cruelty. There was kidnapping, blackmail, sadism. They were shot cheap, dubbed badly, and sold on a promise of something forbidden. And here's the thing that nobody admits. The reason that they got away with it: the censors of the day, they came down hard on sex, and they shrugged at violence. So these filmmakers swapped one for the other, and that was the business model. We're going to start with the only woman directing this stuff in 1966. And don't let that fool you into thinking she went easy. Doris Wishman. She made movies that look like nobody else's. She'd point the camera at a lamp, at the carpet, really anything but the actors, and then dub the whole thing in afterwards.
Married, and he didn't want married women working in his office. He was simply furious.
People, they called it incompetent. What I call it is a style that you can identify in 3 seconds with the sound off. Another day, another man. It's the formula in its purest form. You have a young wife and a husband who gets sick.
Hey, darling, come on. It's time for your medicine. How do you expect to get well? Now open your mouth.
Now that's vile tasting stuff.
Their money runs out, and the only door left open leads straight down. By the end, she's been used up by every predator the city can throw at her. The film historians have a phrase for this exact structure: guilty expenditure.
When Meg came back to the couch, John was furious.
A woman steps outside the lines, and the movie makes her pay for it, while the camera watches every second. It's the engine half these pictures run on, so get used to it. You're gonna see this 7 more times. This was lost for years, and it only still exists because somebody thought this gutter, it was worth saving. Funny how that's gonna keep happening. Number 7 is basically barely even a movie. It's 2 movies stitched into a corpse, and that's exactly why you're gonna love it. Satan's Bed started as an unfinished crime picture. When it stalled, the producers did what producers always do in this racket. They grabbed some exploitation footage, taped it to the carcass, and then just shoved it into theaters. You can absolutely see the seams in this thing. Boy, do they ever show. So you have a gang of addicts on a violence spree. A young bride is searching for her criminal husband. None of this really quite connects. Just all of it reeks of 1965 New York at its very worst. And here's like the bar trivia grenade. That bride, played by a young, pre-fame Yoko Ono. Years before a certain Beatle. Yeah, Yoko, in a 1965 Roughie. Try unknowing that. Remember the name Finley because the husband and wife team behind this mess, they haven't even started getting nasty yet. Wait, stop. Did you notice something? Yeah, we've got color now. By 1968, the black and white Roughie, it was kinda dying, and the genre did what any quartered animal would do. It mutated. Mantis and Lace is the Roughie on acid, like literally.
Ooh. Wow.
So we have a go-go dancer who has a bad trip, and every time she comes down, there's a dead man and a screwdriver in her hand. It's a slasher before the slasher existed, dressed up in 1968's worst wallpaper. Harry Novak, he distributed this, and William Rotzler, he directed it. He's a man who'd later win actual science fiction awards, which I guess tells you everything about who was really making these things. Not monsters, working filmmakers, taking the only paychecks the business offered. All right, we're halfway home, and from here, these movies stop being weird and they just start being cruel. Alright, we're back with Wishman again, and this is probably her masterpiece, if a thing like this gets to be a masterpiece. Most Roughies use assault as the punishment, the thing that happens to a woman at the end for stepping out of line. Bad girls who go to hell, well, it flips that. Here, it's the opening. A Boston housewife is attacked, she fights back, and the man ends up dead. So, she runs, and then it just doesn't stop. She runs from one city to the next, and every door she opens has another predator behind it.
Hello?
This movie is paranoid, and it's exhausting, and it's pretty bleak too. And for once, the misery, it has a point of view. The nightmare, it belongs to her, and that's what separates Wishman from the other men who made these. She's in the same gutter, just looking at it from different eyes.
Ben!
This is the one that stops being sleaze and just starts being a slasher. Years before anyone used that word. Michael Finley stars in his own movie, and he's a weapons dealer who catches his wife cheating, gets disfigured in the panic.
What happened?
You were hit by a car and hurt very badly, but you'll be all right.
I can't move.
You're going to be all right. You were hit by a car and hurt very badly.
And decides the correct response is to murder every stripper and sex worker he can find, with increasingly insane weapons. We're talking blow darts, buzz saws, This movie is grim and it's ridiculous all in the same breath. It predates Halloween by like more than a decade. So this is the missing link. The roughie crawling out of the raincoat house and turning into the body count movie that would take over horror in the 1980s. You just never knew it started here, in black and white, on no money at all. If you're on a mission to watch just one roughie to understand what the word means, this is probably the one you should watch. The Defilers.
And I'll say when, where, and how. And this place isn't my idea of where. And another thing, Mr. Will Walker, I might become your loving partner under the proper circumstances, but I won't become your sparring partner. So lay out the rough stuff, huh?
Produced by David F. Friedman, who is one of the godfathers of this whole circuit. You have two bored young men that decide, essentially on a whim, to kidnap a woman and lock her in a basement as their property.
She belongs to me, like a slave. I can use her as I will.
There's no monster, no supernatural monster, just two ordinary creeps and a cruelty that feels uncomfortably plausible. And that's precisely why this movie works. It's the purest version of the captivity story these movies keep telling. This movie is bleak, yet it's actually well made, which somehow makes the movie worse. And it's the film every other entry on this list they're actually secretly imitating. But it wasn't the one that invented the captivity racket. For that, you need a woman with a whip and a business plan. Okay, I want you to meet Olga. If the rest of this list is men doing terrible things to women, well, number 2, it flips that chair around. Because the monster here, it's the boss, and the boss is a woman. Audrey Campbell, in the role that made her the single most recognizable face in the entire underworld. Olga's House of Shame. It's the centerpiece of the whole series. A jewel-thieving, dope-running madam who keeps a stable of women in line through whipping, torture, and the kind of psychological cruelty that doesn't need a basement because the women have nowhere else to go. It's white slavery dressed up as a crime picture, narrated like a newsreel so the whole thing could pretend it was just warning you.
Olga felt a certain amount of satisfaction in knowing that she had someone at her mercy. And Olga showed little or no mercy to her captives.
And that pretense, it's the key to the whole genre. The pious voiceover.
How much further would she have to run before she would get away from Olga and her butchers? She dared not get caught again. Capture could mean death. It was a very rare case when Olga was known to spare the life of one who tried to escape.
The moralizing narrator tut-tutting over footage the audience paid specifically to see. Olga didn't invent the captivity story, but she's the one who turned it into a franchise, and every woman in prison picture of the next decade, they owe her some royalties. This here is the template. It's the purest, sleaziest, most influential version of the thing these movies keep coming back to. Yet, that still leaves us number 1. And for that, we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning. Believe it or not, number 1, it's not the nastiest. It's not even the bloodiest. It's something more important than that. It's the first. Before this, Herschel Gordon Lewis and David Freeman, they made these sunny little nudie pictures. Girls, beaches, some gags. They were harmless. But then the money dried up. The audience got bored. And in 1963, the two of them asked a darker question. What if we kept the girls, but we added menace? Scum of the Earth is about a naive young woman who's blackmailed into posing for an underground smut ring.
Look, little Miss Bright Eyes, you're in no position to dictate terms. You were pretty anxious to show off your body to Harmon. Now it's our turn.
She's trapped by men who threaten and coerce her and never let her leave. There's no gore. Lewis saved the blood for Blood Feast that same year. This one runs on pure psychological cruelty, and it drew the entire blueprint. Every kidnapping, every basement, every punished woman in every film we just watched. Olga's stable, the basement in Defilers, all of it. It traces back to this cheap, mean little picture from 1963 that figured out you could sell cruelty as long as you wrapped it in a warning label. And that's the roughie. And that's the whole racket. Born in black and white, raised in the dark, and gone the moment the censors gave up and let everything through. The Raincoat theaters, the pictures they showed, they got swept up, some got restored, and most got put in boxes by people who understood that even the gutter has a history worth keeping. These 8 movies aren't easy to watch, and they never were meant to be loved, but they're a real chapter. The moment the movies discovered exactly how much an audience would sit still for, in the dark, where nobody could see them. Alright, so I'm Dan, this is Retro Vol. Keep the lights low, and keep it weird, folks.